Here's my 1976 Fisher flat bottom. It's 15 foot with a 42 inch bottom. Got it pretty cheap, and it was just basically a shell. There wasn't anything in it at all except a row of 2x4s down the middle with some seats bolted. But anyway, I had to put a new transom boards in back here. I got a 23 horse surface drive motor. We like to fish up on the Grand River in North Missouri, and it tends to get shallow every now and again, so we decided to try that. Have an ammo box for my dry storage. I got it bolted down with the gaskets on the bottom so it won't get wet. Got fire extinguisher. My switch panel is a mud flap I found in the barn. Got a little fish finder on there. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a Garmin for mainly just depth. Transducer mount on the back. I just used a old trolling motor bracket, and that way if we want to pull the boat up on the beach or something, I can just flip it up and it don't get drug off. On the back I had somebody drilled freaking holes everywhere all over this thing bad, and I don't know who had it before me, but they drilled it up. So I just run sheet metal screws in with silicone, and then I JB welded over the top of those. And I don't know if it's going to work very well, but it's seemed to so far. Here's my custom, my stress crack here. I got that, make sure that the old motor ain't putting too much torque on it. That's kind of my safety device there. Got a 12-volt plug in. For the pole holders, we were going to use PVC, and it's a cheap way. You can just screw them in and then set your rod depth down there, and I painted them black so they matched everything. Got 3 in the back and then 4 up here in the front. On the floor, we just had 3/4 inch plywood off an old pontoon boat that we cut down fit. It's kind of heavy, but it's nice. On the seat, it's just a square tubing, wooden frame, kind of up out of the way. It's got a cut through on the underneath, makes it handy. This is grab handle that was an old cane that I found, and I don't know, it's kind of wobbly. Haven't used it yet, but I got it on the old bass pedestal, so where you can get it out of the way if you don't need it, or put whatever else in there. In the front seat, being this boat didn't have any seats, we had to come up with something, so there's this top rail here, and we just made square tubing, or cut down square tubing and made a seat frame. I got my running light, and then I got a little snake gun underneath there just in case. See a snake or sea monster. Let's see. Here's another rod holder here. This is a trolling motor I scavenged off one of my other old boats. Foot controlled. It's an older one, but it seems to work all right. Navigation lights. We just took a broom clip, got it real cheap at the hardware store, and just snapped her up in there and it holds it. I got my bait net the same way. Then on the front deck, we have a cooler that we cut out to, the deck to fit this cooler, and I use it as a bait tank. And I run a little bubble box over here, and it comes through and it comes in underneath, so it aerates them good, and you can still lift the top up without messing with your bevel hose. This is the anchor rope. I just used a bung or whatever they are off a bilge pump and just drilled it down through, so there's about, I don't know, 40 feet of rope underneath there, and it keeps it out of the way when you're not using it, and you just got to kind of tug it back when you're done. But besides that, I think that's about it. There's the navigation lines, but that's it.